Hello everybody, my name is Crina. Some of you know me better, some of you maybe just through some Facebook posts. So I've been meaning to do a video where I could share something that I have learned and discovered through my own practice that has helped me deal with everyday life, everyday chaos. And I feel it is very important for us to know that no matter what happens in our life, because life can be crazy sometimes, right? Can be difficult or very intense times can come to us, right? And it is always good to know that there is always a way for us to reconnect back to ourselves, to really feel who we are, so that we understand that who we are can never be affected by external circumstances, right? Because at times it is very difficult to remember that or to trust it. But once we feel it for ourselves, then we know it. And then we can take a step back, right? Settle down, settle inside, open up differently to what is happening, right? And just have this ability to hold everything, right? This ability to embrace ourselves first, and the parts of ourselves that are having a difficult time maybe, but at the same time to really be able to open to the circumstances in our life, to the situations in our life, and to the people around us with a more gentleness, right? With more heart. Because everybody's having their own, let's call it journey. You know, everybody uses this word a lot, so it kind of started to sound very spiritual and everything. But we are all on our own journey, right? Towards ourselves, you know, towards understanding why we came here, towards understanding what life wants to move through us, right? And everything that happens throughout our life is like, I'm going to use the word journey again, right? It is like this journey, and every step of the way you discover a situation which is like a hidden treasure, right? That might seem difficult, but once you go into it and you open it, and maybe after you go through it, you realize that, okay, I needed to experience this situation in order for me to unlock something inside myself that I didn't know I had, that I didn't know existed there, right? Some sort of gift, some sort of potential. And if we always look at things like that, I know sometimes it's not easy, right? Because life can be very difficult, and we all know that, right? But if we look at things like that, then we are more focused on our own growth and our own rediscovery, right? Because it's not really, it's not so much a journey of self-development. It's more of a journey of remembering. because we already have everything inside. Everything is already there. Is the same as the seed of a tree, right? It already has every information in there for it to become the tree. And if we look at nature and around us, it's valid for everything. So why would we be the exception, right? And you might notice this, because whenever someone tells you something that you feel is true, it's not like you're hearing something new. It's like you are remembering something that you already knew, but you couldn't access before that. Or it's the same with events, right? You discover parts of yourself that you didn't know were there, right? Abilities that you didn't know you have, capacities that you didn't know you have. And I'm not talking about anything supernatural here. I'm just talking about us as human beings, because we are amazing. Like, we are so unaware of our potential, our abilities, our capacity, for life, for just being the amazing beings that we are, right? We forget that. And then we do hurtful things to ourselves, to others, to the world, right? To the environment, to other beings. But when we remember, and when we know, because it's a knowing that cannot be denied, because once you feel it, it is impossible for us, in that deep connection with who we are, to do anything other than a loving act or gesture, right? And you will see, you will understand, and maybe you already know what I'm talking about, because this is not something that was invented now. It's something that we all have access to, that we all know, that we have all experienced in some way or another, right? So my wish is that we all remember, and that we all start living from that space of being who we really are. And then that all our interactions are based on that, and all our actions spring from that. That is not, it doesn't really happen instantly, right? Even with years of practice, it still needs more settling down, more settling in. But the more we remember who we are, and we are consciously aware of it and connected, it's not that we are ever disconnected, but it is just, we are now aware of it, right? Consciously aware of it. So the more that happens, even if, for example, sometimes we forget and we do something hurtful in any way to anybody, or anything, right? It's much easier to feel it, to acknowledge it, and to go back and make amends, right? Make it not right or wrong, but make it so that we come back to that situation or person with love, right? Because anything other than that, it will hurt us as well. And that is something that we experience every time, but we are less aware of it, right? And that causes suffering on both sides. Right. So I think it's time for us to try together to sit a little bit, to connect with ourselves a little bit, to feel ourselves a little bit, see how we feel right now, you know, what has been going on. Just take a little time for some connection with ourselves and see how it feels and what we learn from it, what will come from it, right? And as with everything, anything, it is best to just go into it with the most gentle attitude that we can, right? Towards ourselves, towards the process. And whatever we feel, whatever happens, to just allow it and embrace it and just nurture it gently, right? And without any firework expectations or super intense experience expectation or less intense experience. So as much as possible, let's just take it as it comes, right? And just be present with what is there and just give ourselves this opportunity to not want us to be different in this moment, to give ourselves this unconditional presence no matter what the situation is. Because we need that a lot. We need the possibility to just be as we are in every moment. And we need for us to be the first to offer it to ourselves. So then after that we can offer the same gift to others. Right? It is so relaxing when you sit next to someone that doesn't expect you to act a certain way. Right? That you can just rest with. That you can just be yourself with. Right? As you are. Without needing to put on a show or without needing to change something. That everything is okay as it is, because it is, ultimately, right? Okay, let's try it. So, my advice is to just sit comfortably. Wherever you are, you don't need to do anything special for this. It would be nice if you could not be disturbed throughout this journey. And you can close your eyes. I would advise you to close your eyes and just enjoy it, right? As it comes, as it is. Okay. All right. So let's sit comfortably. Close our eyes. And let's just connect with ourselves. And don't let your mind ask you how to do that. Just connect. Just connect. You know how to do it. Just connect with yourself. Let's all connect with ourselves. And let's feel a little bit our emotions, our feelings in the moment. What are we feeling now? What are you feeling now? How is your body feeling now? And just rest in this knowing, in this observing, right? There's nothing to analyze about it. You just want to feel it, right? And as you keep your awareness inwards, you feel yourself settling into yourself more. It's like your beingness, your consciousness is sitting in the body, just easing its way in, making space, allowing things to be released that no longer serves us. And the more we release, the more we can arrive, settle, and be at ease with ourselves and this what we find in this moment here. We feel our being sitting more and more comfortably in our body, being more and more present. We notice it more and more. We feel ourselves more and more. It's like our eyes are open, but they are closed. Yet even if our eyes remain closed, we feel very awake, very present, very connected with ourselves. And even though feelings and emotions are still there, thoughts are still there, and by habit, we go back, we make this movement towards them. We feel this contraction of the uncomfortableness of some thoughts and emotions. Even though we tend to do that because we are used to do that, we notice that there's something different. That we are more confident, we are more comfortable. Even if for a moment we move a bit away and towards our thoughts and towards how we feel. We know we're there. We know we can always come back. And we just settle back in. Feel like the whole being just sits, just is within the body. And is awake and is present. And is peaceful and joyful. And just wants to enjoy being alive. It's just so rare that we feel this joy of being alive, of existing. That is the basis of everything around us, of everything that we do. It comes from being alive. Let's just feel it for a moment. The simple joy of being aware of living, of our own existence. Do you see anything undeserving in this? Do you feel it might be different? Or that it could be different? And now, from this space of being very connected and aware, connected to yourself, connected to your heart, connected to the seat of your being, connected to your existence, take a moment to feel and see what you want to do. What is your being longing for? What does it want to bring forth? What does it want to convey to the world? What does it want to say? What do you want to say? And to whom do you want to say it? And what do you wish for the world? What does your being wish for the world? Where does your being long to be? Where would your being be most nourished, most loved, most appreciated, most received, most welcomed? Most adored? Who does it want to be around? Who are your friends in this? Who does your being long to connect to? And for what? What does your being want to sing to the world? What? It's not a song that we've heard before. It's something entirely different that can only be sung through you, because only you have the combination of gifts that makes this melody happen. And you sing it through your presence at all times, even if you are aware of it or not. You are delivering your gifts at all times. Just by being, by existing. You are that gift that some of us long for, that some of us need, and ultimately that all of us need, because we are in this together. And my well-being is your well-being, and your well-being is our well-being. And our well-being is the world's well-being. And nothing happens outside of ourselves. Nothing happens outside of this connection. Every action, every thought, every thing that we do has a consequence for ourselves and others. So what do you want to bring? It's probably love. And it has a different flavor for each of us. We pour our love into the world from a different cup, into a different shape. But love is what we want to share, because love is who we are. And nothing makes us happier than that. And maybe you are remembering moments when it was not love that you offered. And maybe you blame yourself for that. But it's no need. Because at that time, you could not offer more or something different. and the hurt that you feel for hurting another being is punishment enough. Embrace your heart. As it has been through enough. And it only wants peace, and it only wants to rest, and it wants to love, and it wants to live in joy with everything that is around us. That is all we want, to feel this love, feel this connection, feel our own joy, and share it with everybody else. Feel our connection with everything around us. Feel how everything is our friend. Everything in this state that we are remembering now is only our friend. And everything that is created outside of this knowing cannot be sustained without us. Cannot live without us. Cannot live without the fuel that we offer it. So just stop, do nothing. Stop fueling it. Move from a different space. Engage from a different space. And when you drop it, it is dropped. It has no life of its own. It has no will of its own. It is just dropped. And everything makes space for this. You know, you feel right now things are showing you. When you act, from which space you act, and how you can do it differently. It is very clear now, it has been shown to you. Feel it, know it, you know it already. And this knowing is going to stay with you forever, because You cannot unknow these things. Once they are shown to you by yourself, by your own being so clearly, you will always be aware where you interact from, where you act from, who is talking. And you can always choose, you can always remember. You can always quickly drop it and act, move from this space of who you are. You will not want to do anything else but that. Now we know. Now you know. Now you know on every level, and it will always stay with you. I'm happy we are remembering. I'm happy we are feeling this. Every movement and every action can spring, will spring from the love that you are. And you feel that, you know that, you understand how. And it is in your power to choose it. It is a choice you've already made, your heart has already made. And you understand why. You know why. You choose it. You chose it. How do you feel now? What do you feel for the world now? For everybody in your life? For everything that surrounds you? What do you feel? Isn't that beautiful? Isn't it beautiful to look at the world like that? And remember, with eyes opened or closed, these things are unforgettable. You now know, and you will always remember how to choose and that you have a choice. And now let's remember together that this is not just a state in a meditation. That it is something so intimate to us. That it's not something that someone created for us. It is who we are. Eyes open or closed. Sitting cross-legged or not. Talking, walking, sleeping, working, moving, doing anything. It is not a state that we can only reach in meditation or when someone guides us. This is who we are. And eyes opened or closed, we will always know it. We will always feel it. It is always going to be with us. So now I want you to drop your full consciousness into your body. Your full awareness and consciousness and being into your body. You know who you are present, you are awake, you are aware. And everything that you lived and remembered will stay with you forever because it is who you are. And now please open your eyes and see that nothing changes. There is no difference. This is not a meditation or a journey or a discovery or a creation. This is who you are. And you are always there. You don't need anybody to tell you that. You feel it. You know it. And everything that you are is always there with you in every moment. So there's nothing to be afraid of. There's nothing that you can lose or gain because this is everything that you are. With your eyes open, nothing changed. We are not imagining anything. We are just remembering. That we are here and that we have always been here. And that we will always be here. And this knowing you will take with you in every moment of your life. Because it is who you are. Thank you for remembering.